Hello, my name is Shailla Quadra. Hello everybody. I'm here to introduce the first interview of the series Unstoppable Creators. In this show, we're going to interview some of the most fascinating and inspiring filmmakers of Australia, which have been working really hard and have been great role models for filmmakers like myself and many others. Today, I'm going to be interviewing the creator of Atomic Kingdom, Mr. James Peniata. James, you write, you produce, you direct, you edit, you act one of the main roles. You do so much, and they have been about like nearly 1 hour episode each.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you up to episode 9.
Yeah.
The question that I've been always curious of how you do it, because I've done it before and I know it's hard, and to reach episode 9 of so much intense work, how do you do it? Please tell us.
No sleep. Look, I would love to take all the credit, but it's honestly not just me. There's a massive team of very dedicated, very amazing friends and colleagues of mine that helped me to do this. And basically, I would not have been able to do any of this without them. So this is, as much as I would like to take the credit for it all, it's largely for them as well. And I mean, I'm not the only director on the show. I've done, episodes 1, 3, 5, half of 7, 8, 9, and 10. But we had to sort of keep the flow of everything and to keep my sanity. We had my very good friend Lily Chang, who directed episodes 2 and 4 and did an amazing job on them, and a large part of 7 as well. So it's mainly thanks to her and all the people that gathered around and just helped us to do this. That's honestly, I can't take the credit all by myself anyway. So
fair enough, but I still believe you have a lot of credits, because in the end of the day, I bet you're still doing all the editing. Is that right?
Yes.
And you're doing the special effects as well.
Yes.
And editing is not fast. So besides filming all day, and how do you manage? I know that you just mentioned that you got someone to direct, but you still directed most of the episodes. And being an actor and director, and how do you manage? How do you normally process? How do you work and like timing to working into like your character? Because I know that you love being an actor. That's one of your main passions.
Yeah.
And how do you do the work as an actor, and how do you separate the time and then to have all the production ready and what's your process? Please tell us about that.
Basically, a lot of actors prepare a lot of time ahead of the time that we actually shoot. With me, I actually have to prepare much before that. I kind of have to do all my prep work months before we even get onto set. Just because as soon as, there will be a lot of moments where I'm like, I have to switch, to directing chair, and then review the shot that we just did of myself, which is very uncomfortable to do, and then jump straight back in the scene and get emotional again and start going. It's you have to be able to switch. And I've been doing it for a little while, so I'm getting much better at doing the switch and just turning the tears on or getting really super angry. I'm really good at sort of doing that at the moment, but it's taken a lot of practice, and I'm still getting there. But at the same time, again, it's not just me. I can't direct myself. I know how I want it to look, so I usually have either Lily or Lee Murray, or Jacqueline, any of the people that I usually work very close with, and I have them somewhat direct that particular scene with me in it. I relay my direction to them, and they watch for that, and they basically give me feedback, because I'm not really in control when I'm on the other side. So it's difficult, and again, having multiple kind of jobs, editing, directing, acting, they all kind of complement each other, because I'm an editor, I actually sort of keep in mind where the pauses would naturally have to go for cuts when I'm acting, when I'm performing. I know when another actor is, if it's my close-up, the other actor can't really talk over my lines. They kind of have to give me a beat, and just small things like that kind of just complement the task. It makes things a lot more easier as well. So
like you in the end, you work more, but in the end, because these technical things, so you make things easier, and they do. I know exactly what
a lot of people say that you shouldn't have those kind of things on your mind when you're trying to perform. That's not really your job. But because I come from all of those backgrounds, they kind of melt together. So it's not so much of a distraction. It doesn't really distract me from performing as best I can. It kind of all just melts together, and I'm able to sort of do it all just naturally. That sounded so up myself.
No, I totally.
But if you could understand what I mean, it's like you
what
kind
you
of just
mean.
naturally, it's second nature. You kind of just do it, and you're able to concentrate on many different things at once because you've been doing it for so long. So.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
you would know what I mean.
Yeah, I know, and I think my goal of doing this is because I want people to get inspired, know that it is a lot of work, but it's possible.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And it may seem difficult now, but if you keep at it, it will actually just become second nature.
Yeah, and it's possible, it's doable, and you can do it very well as well. Like, it's possible to done all those tasks like amazingly well and do a great job. And yes, thanks. And also, okay, next question, that's a bit deep. You want to get deep into your head. What drives you?
What drives me? Without getting teary.
You can get teary if you want.
Basically, my parents. Just growing up, they've always really supported me with what I've wanted to do. You know, I'm surprised my dad did not have a heart attack when his only son told him, "No, Dad, I don't want to be a football player. I want to be an actor." You know what I mean? So most dads would lose their and just go nuts, but mine was like, okay, in his very Samoan way. And my mum basically was the caterer for a lot of my earlier stuff. And she drove me to and from auditions, and but just so much belief that they had in me. That's really what kind of drives me. I want to be able to prove to them that it was not for nothing. I am passionate about this, and I feel that's probably why they supported me so much. And also because I kind of inherited both my parents' their stubbornness. So they know pretty much once I've decided to do something, there's no really convincing me not to. So you better just support me, because I'm not gonna listen. But yeah, I really want to show them that it wasn't for nothing, that this is achievable, and I feel very comfortable doing it. So.
Fantastic. Now, getting a bit more into details, how do you finance all these epic episodes? Because they have been epic.
Again, it's trickery. It may look like it has a small budget. I mean, production-wise, you can tell that we don't have a lot of money, but you can tell that we have a fair amount. But even then, that amount is pretty much just trickery. I'm good at effects. I've sort of learnt a lot from where I started, so usually I start with a wide shot of something, say it's a giant shot of the city that looks, very futuristic and very post-apocalyptic. I'll start with a wide shot of that, and that'll be mass amount of special effects, and then I'll cut to nice mid shots and close-ups and just cheat it to make it look as if they're walking through this $1 million street, and they're not. So just small kind of tricks like that, pretty much cutting corners here and there to make things on screen look visually amazing, but practically it's just so cheaply done. Like snow falling, typical tricks, snow falling. We had people walking down the side street, and we just basically, it looked like a beautiful, snowy day, and we just had people on the side throwing, just off camera, just throwing, pegging as hard as they could all this like fake snow. And on camera it looks beautiful, and it's shot at like 50 frames, so it's slowed down and really nice and dreamy, and when it's all cut together and graded, you have beautiful, like a slight glisten of a lens flare from the stars, and in reality it was just so cheaply and budget done. It was awesome.
Awesome, I love it.
But yeah, just minimal money, but you work with what you have when you don't have that much of a budget, and you make it look amazing. I have a respect for filmmakers that have small budgets and make really amazing things on that small budget. I'm not really impressed with filmmakers that have a mass amount of money and deliver an okay or cool product. I'm like, no, you have a lot of money. This person here didn't have any money, and they created something just as cool. So what's wrong with you? Why? You know what I mean?
I know.
Yours should have been better.
Yes.
You know,
No,
but it's all about the script and it's about the execution. True. But if you have a lot more money, you should be able to put a lot more production value into it. So how is this person who had less money than you able to do something even better? You know what I mean? So.
Awesome. Next question. I'm sure there has been many challenges along the road, as usually.
That's such an understatement.
I know from experience that behind the scenes stories, they are just as intense as the stories being made and being told.
Yep.
But what was the biggest challenge so far? Would you be able to share one of the challenges you had so far and how you overcome it?
Gosh, there has been a lot. Just trying to think of the juiciest one.
Please. If you're allowed to share, because I know a lot of things we better keep. I know that many things you can share, but something that you could share as a lesson for your fellow filmmakers watching so they don't make the same mistake, because we all learn from our mistakes, but we can also learn from other people's mistakes. So it's like, so perhaps I can do this differently. Thank you, James.
Yeah.
So would you like to share what has been a challenge that you had that how you overcome?
Good question. There has been a lot, which is why I'm trying to run through my mind of which one is appropriate to share.
Oh my god.
Locations has been a huge thing.
Yes.
Insurance is a huge thing. So whenever you need to shoot on location, it's very important that you have public liability insurance. It's safer. It covers you. It covers everybody else, and it's just better for the production. However, for the people out there that don't have $1,000, up to $2,000 depending on who you're going with, to pay for public liability, it can be difficult. So locations can suddenly just be very restrictive, or you may not be able to get access to a lot of the dream locations you want. So I would say try to, when you're writing in the writing process, and I think a lot of people know this anyway, but write for things that you know you can do. Write for places and locations that you know you can get. Because I do have a background in special effects, and I've got a lot of green screen experience. When I'm writing, I just go absolutely nuts because I know that I can do a lot of things in special effects. But I always do try to keep a ground, kind of a base reality to everything that I do. So I would definitely say when you're writing, try to think of all the skills that you have as a director, as a filmmaker in general. Try to think of all your actors and try to, it's so silly to say this, but write according to that. But I mean, it is difficult to do that. It feels like it kills your soul, it kills your creativity, because as a director and as a writer and as a filmmaker, as an actor, we want to be creative, we want to have no boundaries, we want to be able to do what we want and make it look amazing. And so to be told to keep everything restricted, it can be kind of crushing. So that's why I personally wanted to learn how to do special effects. I wanted to learn the business side of things a lot more. I wanted to learn about locations and rules and things like lockouts and just try to get all of that knowledge that I learned from that and put that into my scripts and put that into my knowledge as a filmmaker and use that as a tool to make really amazing things, or try to make amazing things, So again, that's why I learned special effects, because I knew that things like set extensions really, really make a huge impact, especially if people assuming that it's just such a low budget film, and then you suddenly have this amazing shot of a castle. People just lose their mind, as long as it's fitting to the story, obviously, but yeah.
Well, that's very valid experience and advices to share. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of people.
There is another one that's a little less a little more common, actually.
Yes.
One of the biggest challenges you will have is rejection. And quite seriously, you will have a lot of, let's say, actors that come to audition for you, and then they'll turn the role down because they don't either believe in it, or they don't believe that you have what it takes to pull that kind of script off. I had a lot of actors sort of love the story and love the script, and then look at the budget and say, thank you very much, we really do want to do this, but unfortunately we are going to pass, just because we believe that you don't have the budget to pull something like this off effectively. And it does burn. Any kind of rejection does burn, but at the same time, you politely smile, you nod. You as an actor, I understand where they're coming from, because you want to make sure that you keep stepping up, And if you're unsure or uncertain about a project, you politely step down. So basically, don't fear rejection, and don't let that set you back. Because this person may not believe in you, but what do they know? This might actually be an amazing production. Your film project might actually launch your career. So keep pulling forward and try to find someone that does see what you see and wants to be a part of it.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that will help a lot of people too. Thank you. It means a lot.
No worries.
Our next question. While being very lucky to also be part of the cast, thank you very much. So I got to know...
You're welcome, you've been awesome.
Thank you. So I've been lucky to know some classified information about the project that I know we cannot publish until permitted, so we have to keep quiet about many of the things. So I respect that. I'm not saying anything. But is there any of those super exciting news that you can share with us about the upcoming plans and new developments for Atomic Kingdom?
Can I tell you?
What can you share with the public and the fans, please?
Story-wise,
and where we can watch, when we can watch, and everything.
Okay. Story-wise,
yes, please.
You really have to pay attention with the show. It is not a show that we kind of just throw things in there because it looks cool. What may look like as just a pointless shot in one episode connects to another. So there are a lot of stories towards the end of the series that will start linking to episodes before it that you didn't think would actually link together. So there are secret reveals of certain characters. And production-wise, we've actually been doing a lot of wire work and a lot of stunts. We have CG monsters that will be making an appearance towards the end of the series to tie some things up. A lot of action. Production-wise, it gets darker. The show definitely gets darker, and it takes a lot more of a serious turn towards the last few episodes. I can tell you that much. Oh, we definitely do set up for an expansion, but I'll leave it at that.
And I know that we never know dates of release and things like that, but do you have any upcoming dates of when we can watch more teasers online, and where can we watch the show?
Coinciding with the release of certain episodes, once they start back up, we'll be releasing a lot of online content as well. So a lot of behind the scenes videos that we've been filming since the first day of shooting will be all cut together. We have probably about, we have 2 years worth of behind the scenes.
Ooh.
So you'll start to see a lot more of those videos uploaded. We have 2 years worth of bloopers, which a lot of people will enjoy seeing. You'll start to see a lot more of a presence online, and you'll start to see a lot more of an interactive presence with us online. So a lot of live stream events where you'll get to talk to some of the cast and crew. A lot of things like that,
Awesome. And also, just one question that came to mind now. I noticed a lot of family issues along the storylines and family conflicts and all that. And what has been your drive behind that? All the
one of the drives. There are many drives that I have behind the show, but one of the main themes that I really wanted to enhance and just concentrate on is family. It's what is the definition of a family? So we have many different versions of a family within the show. It's always about family, loyalty, and truthfulness, really. We have friends who have no family, but because they are so close and they form a bond, they sort of form their own family. We have two orphans that fall in love, and they form their own family. There's a lot of, what is testing the boundaries of how far you can push a family to the point that it will break up, and how strong are their ties. You know, can they stay separated forever? You know, there's a lot of those kind of themes in the show, and how far people would go to have a family. You know, those kind of things I really try to concentrate on, because I feel that as dark as the show is, it does have family values. It does. They're just very dark. So, yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Films that inspire you. Is there any films that inspire you? Probably a massive list.
Oh God, there is a massive list of that. I don't want people to feel that I'm shallow.
Yeah.
I love a lot of dramatic projects. I love a lot of true gritty drama. I love Aussie drama. I think that we are pretty much the best at doing dramatic things, because we, as a people, we're very open and we're very honest about how we are and how we see things. So I feel that when we do drama, it feels a lot more real. But coming from a background that I grew up with a lot of drama. My life in general as a filmmaker in this industry is very dramatic. So I don't really feel the need to run to a cinema, sit down and watch someone else's drama. My life is kind of full of it. So my genres that I usually love are, as a filmmaker, horror, fantasy is my ultimate favorite, and romance. So those are my, action as well. Like I love those as a filmmaker, because I feel that the stories are rich and you can do a lot more with them. But as an actor, I do love drama. So I think every actor loves drama, so yeah.
And directors that inspire you, probably on that talk.
Oh, there is a lot.
I know it's a hard question, I'm sorry.
Okay.
A few that you really look up to, people you really look up to.
Hideo Nakata. He is amazing. Takashi Shimizu. Love him. His work is just awesome. I just love how he can really psychologically mess with you and then just freak you out. Absolutely love Robert Rodriguez for his independence, for his determination, and the inspiration that he provides for a lot of young filmmakers like myself. I love that. Yeah, you too. Gosh, there is a lot of directors that I have a massive respect for.
No, it's a tough one. It's a hard list. But I would say that Robert Rodriguez must be on the list of all rebel filmmakers that go out there.
Pretty much.
Do whatever it takes. He has been a great hero of independent filmmakers.
If I got the chance to ever, meet him, much less work with him, I would freak out, man. I would full fanboy. I wouldn't be able to hold it in. I think my first words would be, nice to meet you. So, yeah. Quentin Tarantino, love him.
Totally, yeah.
I love how gutsy and how ballsy he is with his choices and with his his vision. I love that. There's just no restriction there. Well, it appears to be, to have no restriction.
I know.
I love that.
Love it. Words of inspiration for everybody watching this interview, please.
Words of inspiration.
Yes. You've done quite a few, so I put that on my list of questions, so please.
Okay. You're going to have a lot of people who doubt you. You're going to have a lot of people tell you that you can't do it. You're going to, at some points, probably feel depressed and very lonely. There are going to be times where you'll be busy on set filming or prepping for a job, and your friends will be busy outside, partying or, just living their lives and constantly asking you to join them, and you feel guilty because you have to work. That's our business. That's kind of the nature of our job. Some people are lucky and are able to actually balance both their personal life and their professional life. unfortunately not all of us will have that pleasure, and that's just a very realistic thing for everyone to accept, that they have to sort of acknowledge. It's a lot of hard work. It's not easy. It's not fun. The red carpet, that's where the glamour is. That's where we have to celebrate our hard work. Everything beforehand, the process of making the project, it can be fun, but it's a lot of hard work as well, and you really have to be committed. You know, there are a lot of people that turn down big shoots because they have their sister's, cousin's, best friend's, uncle's, goat's birthday to attend. And you kind of have to, it's hard, but you kind of have to pick and choose which events are worth going to, and how committed you are to a career as a filmmaker, or a career in the industry at all. Because I think we all face those times where we feel alone. And it's not easy, but that's where it's important to find like-minded people that understand that what you're doing is hugely important to you. And I feel that any friend or any spouse that demands you choose this career, your livelihood, what you're passionate about, what your dreams are, what you've been dreaming of doing since you're a child, anyone who asks you to choose between that and them are not worth having. And if you feel they are, then maybe you should second guess a career in the industry.
Thank you.
Or work out a way to balance it. Either way, if you want something, you will get it, as long as you work for it. So that's me. It's raw. It's kind of sad. Some people are probably going to watch this and really dislike hearing that, and probably completely disagree with it. But that's just what I've found personally. So,
Thank you for sharing that, like being so honest and open-hearted, because that is very true. Everything you just said, I know exactly what you mean, and I'm sure a lot of people who are committed will know exactly what you mean, and the people who are not committed, they will ask themselves the questions.
And I mean, I personally have had a lot of experience with fence sitters, people who haven't made the full commitment to wanting this as a career, and so they will fence sit, and they'll play with you with that. You know, they will be the kind of people that quit on you last minute because they have some friend's birthday they want to go to. So, I mean, we'll be faced with that kind of challenge. We'll be faced with those people, and we'll have to, as nice as they are, we'll have to make the tough decision of cutting them, or, you know, replacing them, or it's hard. But I mean, if you're serious about it, you kind of have to.
Have to make the tough choices.
Have to make the tough choices.
I know exactly what you mean.
Things like recasting. If an actor suddenly becomes sick and you don't have the time to hold production for them to get better, you know, if you have a large budget and you're wasting money, sometimes you have to make tough choices. You know, and I think a lot of us know that anyway, but yeah, some of us don't.
Yeah, so. Some don't. No, thank you for sharing. That's a very valid point, very important, and a lot of people.
Again, a lot of people are probably watching, this guy's an idiot. I'm not.
No, a lot of people have.
But like,
no,
I don't know.
the people totally passionate. They will appreciate that because they can learn from it, or you help them to make their own tough choices. And the purpose of this is to help people. So thank you for sharing that.
It's not easy.
Thank you so much, James, for giving this interview. No, I love it. Like, no, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. It has been a really busy day filming.
Yes.
It has been a long day filming, like the whole year filming. You have been working on stuff, so thank you so much. And I know you haven't had time to eat, like you tried to stop you from eating to get some time with you. Thank you so much.
Not sure if you can see on the frame, but I have food sitting just at the bottom.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much, and good luck with everything, and I'm sure everything's going to be amazing because you put in the work. You know, when the universe does work in favor, of those who really pursue the passion, so I'm sure everything's going to do well. And everybody watching, keep an eye on Atomic Kingdom and James Peniata. Thank you so much.
Thank you.